City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! That is one Derby diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, Episode 3. I'm Dylan Altman, alongside Mila and Grant, as always. Today, another special guest. We have Heelbite with us, another Manchester United fan, to keep me level-headed and maybe help me out on this podcast. But
help defend.
Yeah. This week, we're going to talk about United, City, and Chelsea to start off. Then after that, Dari will hop off. We'll go into our blind Premier League game, which I'll get into a little bit later, and then we might wrap up with either a little bit of transfer talk or match week 3 predictions. I'm not going to get through the intro without stumbling, ever. It's going to always stay like this. But I guess, as we did with the Arsenal preview,
We'll clip it.
Let's have Heelbite start us off with what he thought of the game against Brighton.
I thought watching it, I was not appalled. Let's say that. While I was watching it, we looked less easy to play through. I think last season, every first half, it felt like we were conceding like 20 shots. And while I think Brighton had better chances overall, I think they might have edged out that they deserved the game. It wasn't a torrid watch the whole time, as it was most games last season. I thought we looked a little more together in our press. It didn't look like everyone was running around like a headless chicken, but then at the same time, we concede another late winner. It just seems like the team loses focus too easily. And I do not, for the life of me, understand the Bruno sub. I don't know what McTominay brings us besides passion. It works sometimes. It worked once against Brentford. And now he's gone. So I don't really understand that sub at all. And I think it cost us the game because we lost all of our aura when he came off. And what happened.
Yeah, it's a pretty good summary. I thought that obviously as a whole, with everything that happens with United right now, it's all reactionary. I didn't think that this was a game that had the same feel as the other losses that we've had. I mean, we literally lost to Brighton 2 years ago, and I thought the world was ending. Like, it was in those...
That game compared to this one, too, they dominated, played us off the pitch. And it's right. Brighton. So we shouldn't be happy that we didn't get played off the pitch by Brighton, but it's a mixed bag always now, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that ultimately this game came down to having Mount on the pitch to start the game and then having to ultimately take off Bruno when he put on McTominay. I think I texted you during the game and I said that this is a substitution that is a play for a draw substitution.
Yeah.
It looked like the momentum after the disallowed goal was Xerxes touching the ball, which is just, it sucks because it should have been a goal. They should have been up 2-1 and they should have been able to see out the rest of the game, but that just kind of felt like it wasn't their day from that point on. It's tough too for a guy like Mount too to start a game, and he looked good. He was pressing great, and then ultimately just have everything taken off at half, and then you got Xerxes coming on it. It felt like the McTominay sub should have been the Mount sub.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
I thought,
you
want to continue?
No, go ahead.
I thought that Mount, he got injured, didn't he? He picked up a knock. That's why he got subbed.
Yeah, I guess so.
But, that's another problem in itself. That's a story for another day. But it's just, there's issues with this team where I want to defend Ten Hag for, which is like Mount, once again, dude's made of glass. Every game he plays, he picks up an injury instantly. And he looks pretty decent when he plays. So it's encouraging, and then it's gone just like that. And then it's just another thing. I don't know if I like playing for a draw against Brighton. I don't think I agree that the momentum started to go that way, but I think that's also an issue that the momentum goes that way in the first place. I think that's a mentality thing. And I don't know. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot that I don't understand, and I don't really, it's frustrating to see.
With every loss, there's a certain amount of pressure and building towards him getting sacked, right? And that's what everybody's going to talk about. Just because of what happened last season, and then going into this season, people thought he should have already lost his job. And I bet you that the two guys below us, or well, below me in my screen, are saying probably the same thing of like, how much time is left?
They want him to stay.
They probably do.
Correct.
But I think I do too, honestly. I see what he did the first year, and under such torrid circumstances there, he did really well with that squad. And that was when we had a fit defense for most of the year too. So I'm still yet to see him with the defense that he even wants to play. And that's been almost a whole year of him not being able to play playing Johnny Evans. He's been forced to play Johnny Evans at center back for the better part of like 6 months. And that's just, what can you do with that? He was a great player maybe 10 years ago. It's a lot that he has to deal with, but I think it's a lot that falls on his shoulders as well.
I'll say one more thing, and then I kind of want to get Mila and Grant's perspective here. But it feels like you were saying, he hasn't had the players, and I almost want to start to switch the attention to the players, because Ten Hag doesn't coach not marking people at the back post on a corner. Like, he doesn't say, hey, Casemiro, Dalot, Mazraoui, De Ligt, and Martinez, let's just vacate the back post on a corner. That doesn't happen. And even if he was playing for a draw, then I don't think that was a tactical setup where he was like, yeah, let's go on the counter. And so it's a weird thing where I'm starting to think that we have to be giving the players more accountability, because the XG was there. The chances were there, just Rashford and Xerxes when it came on, and Bruno and Mount. And
Ahmad missed that one that Dalot played to him too, which was a hard chance, but we do need to create more, I think. And I think there was issues in the team, and I think we were pretty wasteful as well. There was a lot of counters I thought that we could have. I think Ahmad, even though he scored, he was very wasteful, and I believe in him fully. But I think his mother-in-law passed away, and apparently they were very close. So I think that was playing into his head a little bit. It's good that he got the goal. I think that'll give him some confidence. But I think if he continues that wasteful nature, I think Garnacho is going to get his spot back on that right side.
I agree. I know. So Mila and Grant, where do you guys see on the Ten Hag front and the United front as outsiders looking in?
I mean, so I woke up kind of towards the end of this game. I saw it was like the 85th minute 1-1, and like kind of the best way to put it, and it kind of summarizes how I feel about it, just kind of looking at it from the outside. I saw it was 1-1 in the 85th. I'm like, oh, let me see this Brighton winner. Like, you just kind of saw it coming. And like, I know watching us play for a horrible stretch of 2 years, I'm sure you guys saw with us where you just see a scoreline or they score first. Oh, they'll concede 4. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. So like, I just kind of had a feeling. So I had to tune in. And I know I heard you mention XG, and I've been the same victim too, where I'll see us lose games that could go either way. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like any result here, whether it's like 2-1 or it was a draw or you guys won by a goal, would have seemed fair. When we beat Wolves this past weekend, we lost on XG. And I was like, that woke me up a bit. I was like, oh, like we created a ton of chances that game and we were clinical, versus last year, 2 years ago, it was just, oh, we're kind of creating chances. The XG's there. We suck. So I just kind of see it, and I do agree to a certain extent on, like, again, Lisandro Martinez is very vital to how they play and how they want to build up. Shaw as well, who misses a ton of time. So, like, I see that, but then it almost just puts so much weight on those guys when they come back, like, oh, we have to win now because they're in. So it's a tough one, and again, it just does not seem definitive. Like, I would have probably wanted him out if I were a United fan, but then he wins the FA Cup. Like, I don't think anyone saw that game coming at all. So it just doesn't seem like there's a definitive answer yet, because I hear it both sides. So it's a tough one, but like you said, like I do like him in there for sure. I like watching this.
What do you got, Mr. City fan?
Damn. You guys know I liked Ten Hag before he came. I told you guys not to worry about it. Told you it would be okay. I don't want to be too wrong. So little part of me there hoping that he can pull something together, but at the same time, if he continues to stay and doesn't really accomplish anything significant in that time, then that's totally okay with me. What it looks like, though, is a lot of what you've been saying, like, they don't have the players that they want to play. So they're working with the scraps that they have to hold on until those guys get back and they can play the team that they want to play. But they just got a guy like Ugarte, so we have to see what he can do for their play going forward and defending as well. Things that Casemiro can't do. Hopefully they can figure out a midfield for your guys' sake. But after 2 games, I don't really have much to say more than that. I also didn't watch your guys' game. I just saw highlights.
Yeah, you're not waking up at 4:30 local to watch your rival play. That's
I
an
don't have
extreme
that hate watching me.
Yeah, and I think another thing that we should bring up, like, he has won 2 trophies in 2 years. Like, that's the currency. Like, I had a discussion with a friend who supports Arsenal where it's like it's a sustainable path, right? Like back-to-back title challenges. Like, they're clearly a good team. United, we don't know yet, but they have won 2 trophies, and like, I don't know, we've made some pretty deep cup competitions with these god-awful teams. So, I mean, he keeps winning trophies. How can you really fire him? So, like, I kind of get why they kept him. And, I mean, what if he wins, like, Carabao Cup again and you finish 6th? How would you feel?
That's nothing.
No, I know.
That's why I'm like,
there's no
I
significance.
honestly, in saying that, I would still just have to see how the season goes.
Right.
Because we can have one of those seasons where you finish 6th and it's really close and there's a lot of promise in the way we're playing. I'm willing to give a manager as much time as he needs. I really don't care. The club will be there and it's going to continue. But it's just like, how many times is this going to happen? It's the same pattern with every manager. And it gets put all on them. The one season where he had the team that he wanted to play, we did amazing. I was so happy with that season. Fuck all that 7-0 against Liverpool. That one season, I see so many fans trying to justify that for the reason of him being fired. Yes, that was horrible. Yes, it was United fan 9/11. But it doesn't undo everything did that whole season and the trophies that he's won for us. I think if he continues to win trophies, if there's a distinct play style and we're going in a direction, I think that he gets as much time as he needs. And it's been like 2 years since he's had a squad that he wants to play, I think.
Yeah. It's tough. Look, everyone wants to act like United is the same team they were under Fergie, and that's just not the case anymore. So why are we still treating it like this is Fergie managing the team? If Fergie wasn't getting these results, we'd be saying something different. And I think that's just the state of the club, right? Nobody's looking at Chelsea, and I think maybe it's just a media thing. We're looking at all the different media sources, but Chelsea is getting more of a benefit of the doubt for having a similar style of project, right? Ineos' first year, Ten Hag. I mean, I almost want to just scrap everything before this and just say this is a blank slate. Like, let's try this over.
Every manager before us has been. Everything is against the wall for them.
Yeah, and it's either you succeed right away or we can you. And it's not working, so why are we going to keep reliving that same cycle? And Ten Hag has had tactical flexibility throughout this. That's how he beat City in the final. It's how he won the Carabao Cup the year before. And he even said last year, and I think this is the point that sits with me the most, is that I don't have the players to play the style that I want. And he currently is still playing Dalot at left back. He's still playing Casemiro, and he was playing Bruno in the false 9, and I don't think that's how he wants to play. I think that Højlund injury in the summer really screwed up his plans because, if we're being honest, I think a player of Højlund's striker ability and his clinicalness with his shots to goal ratio, we'd probably win Fulham by 2 goals, and we probably win. I think that we win the Brighton game if he's there, just because he's going to put those little chances away that Bruno didn't. So it's hard to judge, and that's the whole point, is to try not to be reactionary with the whole team as a whole, and that's what I feel like obviously the media wants to do because it's United and it's the biggest target, and they've spent a ton of money. And that's the other flip to this, is like they've spent a bunch of money over the last 10 years. So who knows? I think that's kind of where we're at with United, is at one moment they could look amazing and the next moment they could look crap. So yeah,
I think the big thing with that, this kind of goes into what both you and Daria were saying. Like, you guys had an identity before with Fergie, and since then you've been going through managers. There's no building an identity when you're flip-flopping through managers like that. So in the sense that you want to bring that identity back to your club, I do think you need to stick with Ten Hag and see what plays out, like you were saying.
yeah,
I think he has like that strong-headedness that you need.
Very
I think
shiny as
obviously,
well.
yeah, very shiny, very strong. I
That's
think
the key, though.
we saw that, yeah, obviously. We saw that with the Ronaldo situation. We saw it with the Sancho situation. I was on his side for both of them. I just think it needs more time. I think it's been too many. I've had this feeling for almost every manager that we've had, bar Mourinho. But just they don't get what they need, and then it just all falls on them at the end. And they're working against so many outside factors with the Glazers in power that it was just almost completely impossible to develop any kind of energy around the club, any kind of culture, any kind of identity. It was just impossible before. And I think if Ten Hag gets a full year of backing and he gets a team that he wants to play and people stay fit and we're still not good, he's done. Because then there's not. I'd give him like 2 years of that because I'm a patient guy. But I understand not everyone is that patient, and
yeah,
everyone likes to scream on the internet, especially United fans and opposing fans about United. So I think it's important just to watch the game without your phone. Don't read any tweets about it and come up with your own decisions because it's your own, you know, everyone likes to push their agendas.
yeah, very fair. All right, well, before we let you go here, how do you think United should set up against Liverpool this weekend? Obviously, that's the biggest match on the slate. So
Yeah, that's big. I want to see De Ligt start. I'm very sick of Maguire. I think he was at fault for the first Brighton goal. I would like to see him and Lissandro. I'm liking Dallo at left back. He's doing a lot better than I thought he would. And Mazraoui easily at right back. He's been very good the first two games. Is Ugarte? He's not going to be available, is he? Yeah,
he might be available
Could
on the
be.
bench, but I don't think he starts.
yeah.
Probably
I,
unveiling at best.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be Cass and Mainu again in the midfield, I think. Mount, I'm not sure if Mount starts. I think Xerxes, I could see Xerxes starting this one, honestly. I think he's had a good two first. I thought he played pretty well. I think he brings a lot to our team. Um, and I think that it's about time now. He gets a run into the start. I think it'd be a big game to start him, but I think we kind of need that physical prowess up there. I think Ahmad is going to keep his spot as well. I think he showed enough positives, even though he was a bit wasteful, that he's going to keep that spot. And I think Ten Hag really likes him a lot. And I think I've left out Bruno, but he's going to start in the attacking mid, obviously. And then left mid Rashford. It should pretty standard. I think only difference is going to be Mount because of the knock and Xerxes. I'd like to see that, but I could also see another false nine situation.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because Liverpool's still playing counterattacking. So I'd like to see us have more of a true nine up there that can hold the ball and do a little more. I think that I was interested to hear if you were going to stick with Rashford for
I
the
was
first
gonna
60.
say, I was gonna say, but I don't think he drops him for a game like this. I think it would, because he's a big confidence guy. I think it would not send the right message. Um, I think definitely sub him off if he's not playing well. But I don't think he loses his spot, not today. But if he continues his lackluster performances, I think he definitely will. Garnacho is looking sharp off the bench.
Yeah. It's a big one for United. And I think that for all the reasons that people are overreacting about the loss this week, if they win against Liverpool, both teams have 2 wins and a loss, right? So is the overreaction going to flip to Liverpool and slot, or is it going to be, oh, well, that's a tough place to go play?
I think it'll be the latter for sure.
A
I
win
think
can
so
change
too.
everything.
Yeah, so can a GA on FootMob.
I will make that.
Yeah. Any comments from Mila and Grant here about this, or are you guys in agreement with Dari?
I mean, I think Rashford's really the only talking point. Mount probably had a knock, or that always kind of happened his last year with us, where it was like, oh, he had a few bad performances, he's out. Mind you, you guys said he played well. I'll take it.
I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think he just made a glass.
Yeah, I won't talk about the performance, but yeah, he just random knocks. I won't tell you why, and he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. Like that kind of stuff would happen. But yeah, I think Rashford's the only real talking point. Because we talk about it, he's a confidence player. All of this stuff is just up and down. He's like 27. You know what I mean? So it's a big year. Like we got to figure this out. Like we don't have all day. You're almost 30 now, so I think that's a big talking point. But again, you're probably gonna be playing on the counter. It's against Liverpool. Like I could totally see him scoring a goal even out of a run of play, just on a counter. Like that'd be huge for the whole season.
He likes to show up for those games too, so I wouldn't be surprised either. But I was saying he likes playing against Trent.
Sorry,
what was that?
I was saying he really likes to play against Trent.
Yeah, most people do.
I wanted to piggyback off what you said about he's getting old now. He's not old, but it's into crunch time for him. And I completely agree. He's been my favorite player since his debut. And it hurts me to say, but if he performs this year like he did last year, it might be time to cash in. Because I think if another year of that, we're not getting anything for him. And he's just going to fizzle out. I think there's still an amazing player in him. I think he's going to be back. He tends to do this. He has a bad year, he has a great year. He has a bad year, he has a great year. So we'll see if he can get it to be consistent year to year. That's what I'd love to see, but he's a great player. Yep. He'll do good things for us this season.
Those are almost my identical thoughts on Mudryk. So I'm glad we got on. Yes. You gotta hear me out.
Oh man.
I'm serious.
No, for real though, on a real note, that's how I feel about him as a player, but he just doesn't show it. He never really gets a run in the team bar.
Has he showed it though? That's my
the
question.
problem.
No, I'm just saying when watching, I've watched every minute of these games, I see, I'm like, bro, there is a player in there. But then it's just his brain, someone said he had AirPods in while he's playing. I'm like, yeah.
The difference is we've seen the player.
No, for sure. Yeah. For sure. I'm conceding. No. I'm conceding that. I'm just talking about the way you're saying, I see a player in there. Where is he? Man, couldn't have said it any better. Until you started talking about he's had a bunch of goal contributions in here. If you just cut it to just the up and, perfect.
Yeah.
I can't wait to clip that.
How you feel about Mudryk is how I feel about Antony.
Oh, that.
Except for the part where I see a player there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, he's honestly real shit. He should play left back.
We need real shit. We need to kill that guy. I can't watch him play for my club anymore.
We can give you Chilwell if you need a left back though, for real.
I think if there was an ISIS beheading video of Antony, it might make the club back the money.
I would pay millions. I would put a mortgage down to.
Hey, he had a really nice assist against us last week. I lost my mind when I saw that.
We're getting a little too crazy on.
Yeah, well,
I started it, but.
I like Antony.
What the fuck?
In a United jersey.
Of course you do, City fan.
Keep him in a red jersey.
Calvin Phillips for you guys.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips is my favorite City player. Fuck.
He's not a City fan.
Good point. Where is he?
Ipswich.
For the year.
Heard they're getting Broya as well. I hope.
Good player.
I would like to see that, honestly.
Yeah, well, he failed his medical, so that's great. Yeah, bro.
Did he actually?
No, they're still looking into it. So, apparently it was his Achilles. He had an ACL injury a few years ago, but
oh my God.
It was something to do with an injury, and they thought a type of way about it. So they're still talking about it, but it's not over. But yeah, here he go was a week ago. So yeah, it's not
interesting.
Yeah,
nice. All right, well, Mr. Heelbite, we appreciate you coming on and spewing your knowledge.
Absolutely just spewing. That's a great way to put it. Not very coherent, I don't think, but
No,
No,
it was
No,
very
well
coherent.
done.
okay, but
But we
you
loved having you on, so
represented
thank you.
your fan
for
base
sure.
well.
Thank you guys. I'd like to also make a comment about the only good thing Man City has ever brought us in the world, and that is Oasis. And that'll be nice. But yeah, for the rest of that,
We're here for it.
we're here for that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Peace, man.
Thanks.
Thank
Hopefully I'll
you.
be on again. Have a good one.
Yes.
y'all.
Lovely. That was fun.
Wow. What a gent, huh?
Chat. What a chat.
All right, I'm going to cut out the next minute
Okay.
if we wanted to talk about how we want to segue this.
I mean, yeah.
I was just say, speaking of Ipswich.
Shoot. Ooh, I'm back. Okay, I lost my monitor feed for a second, but I'm back.
All right. You should leave this
There's an
in.
echo now.
Okay. All right, so
Is
now
the
we're
echo gone?
doing...
City
Yeah,
and
it's gone.
Chelsea. Do we want to talk about City first?
I was
feel
going to
like-
say who wants to talk first.
I feel like
I can go
there's
first.
probably
Okay.
less to say about the City game. I mean, they battered Ipswich, right? Like it was a good win, but like
I mean, yeah, it meant a lot.
yeah, fair point. You can add that perspective. Good stuff.
All right, okay. Then let me... All right, I'll just segue it in 3, 2... All right, I want to thank Heelbite again for coming on. Mila, let's segue into City. Obviously, an emotional win for you. You want to take us through it?
You don't have to put it like that. It was a cool game. There were implications behind it. The last time we got to play Ipswich was like 2000. I think they knocked us out of the Premier League. Alfie was the captain for that. I was not watching. I was barely looking at anything. So that was cool. We had to see a Haaland hat trick. We got to batter them. The only thing I didn't really like was that goal. Little lapse of judgment. A little bit of a lack of positional awareness from some of the midfield, I think. And then Rico got exposed for that, so that it happens. It's whatever. But I know Dylan, you thought that Ederson could have done a little better with it. I think it's a one-on-one, and it was whatever. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. So that's what I thought. We recovered really big and really quick. I know people were chatting in my ear the second we went down, and I told them, how many times do we have to have this conversation? And then 6 minutes later, we were back on top, 2-1, and then we're going to get more going into the game. I think there's not much to say other than the pressure looked really good. And that rust that we normally see from City in the beginning of these seasons isn't really showing this year. And I know last episode I said that Arsenal were easing their way into things. That might be a good thing for them. I think the opposite with City. I think if we're not easing into it and we get off firing and we just keep firing, because we have the depth in the squad to do it, that this season can be a cakewalk, honestly, if we keep playing like that and just keep getting better. The main people that stood out for me, probably Savio. I want to hear what you guys thought about some of the players, so I'll just say the players I thought that were cool. So Savio, I thought Haaland did well with his chances. And I think Rico did pretty well as well. Didn't finish, whack the crap out of that ball, but hit the bar. So, unfortunate. And then Doku was my last one. I thought he actually played really well, and people like Rico and Haaland kind of let him down. So on the stat sheet, doesn't show a good game for him. But if you watched it with your eyes, he was burning those guys, and it didn't really matter who was in front of him.
Yeah.
So from that, I'll pass it on to you guys and see what you guys thought.
Yeah, I think from a Doku standpoint, I know that's a huge talking point. I mean, he more than often, like, he'll beat his man, and then the big criticism is either he's wasteful or he's not clinical. But when you have Haaland up top, like, that's fine. Like, Pep knew exactly what he was doing when he's going after a guy like Doku, a guy like Savinho. Like, he knows what he's doing with that. He's like, these guys are just going to beat their man and put a ball in. And we have the best finisher on the planet. So, like, I don't really... I don't think there's much to say for me on those guys, the wingers. I think we've seen enough from Savinho. Obviously not we've seen enough. He's played 2 games in the league, but you can tell what he's about. You can tell what he's trying to do. Like, he'll be just fine. And I do think, like you said, getting the first goal, I saw it and I was like, oh, interesting. Not surprised at all that they immediately put up, 3, like right away. Like, I think that is a big statement. That does say something. And it's just good to see for you guys. Gundogan coming back looking like he didn't miss anything. Like, it's good. Just, we don't need to sweat it. We don't need to think about it right now. Let's just keep playing. So, yeah, and I think Rico Lewis, too. That's the last thing I'd have to say. I mean, we've had our conversations about Kyle Walker. Get ready to learn Saudi Arabian League. Like, Rico's, 19, 20 years old? And, you can play this 3-1-6 setup now? You can just have him kind of doing whatever he wants there. Yeah, like he
just takes up whatever.
It's time. And again, the defensive deficiency, sure, it's a conversation to be had, but he's young.
I haven't seen it this year.
Right. And again, you can have that conversation. And with Walker, I mean, he's 34, 35, like he's losing
every
the step.
Year,
like,
a lack of awareness.
Yeah, it's so I think it's really time for him. It's a big year for him to take these minutes and just run with them. So, yeah. Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just highlight on players. Also, the fact that City scored 3 goals in 4 minutes is absolutely unreal. Like, there's not many teams on planet Earth that can do that. It was with the quickness, and it was like they might have like they can just sit in the box and just sit there and try to hold a 1-0 lead until eventually City breaks it, which
just suffocating press.
Yeah, like in years past with Jesus, like I always remember those teams where it was like they just can't score right now, and then they break it open in like the 85th. They did that within 2 seconds of Ipswich scoring, which I thought was just kind of a testament to how good Holland is as a finisher, and I guess also the marvelous Kevin De Bruyne. Every time that guy plays, it's really a treat. That was a special performance from him. And then I thought, and this is my player of the week for all of the Prem games that I watched, I thought Savinho was really, really good. And I think that he brings something to City that I haven't seen out of a right winger in a long time, but the work ethic and his play, the play off the ball is really what impressed me. The goal to De Bruyne where he took it off the keeper, like, I haven't seen that type of work rate, even from like a Mahrez, where I'm like, whoa, now City's got someone to press up there with Holland like that and he's so quick and everything is decisive. Like, we brought up Anthony in the last section, like the exact opposite. Like, everything has a purpose. And the fact that he's playing pep ball as well as he is right away, we were talking about how he's going to need an adjustment period. His adjustment period is 2 games.
He's a hooper. He's a hooper.
2 games. That's what I got from the game is Ipswich is going down too.
It's less of him, or to be fair to Pep, I guess, it's less of him, Savinho learning the system, because Pep is saying, he's embracing that the way that he is this year. Where he's saying, I want you to go beat those guys. He wants Doku and Savio to go take on the guys on the wings so that they can pull the guys, the center backs or the opposing defenders outside. And then have people like KDB, Rico's coming in there, just shoving up the middle so that they can control the middle if they want to do that. If they want to clog the middle, then we'll just go to those 2 on the outside and kill them from the outside. So I think he's made a really hard thing to coach against. I've seen other people talk about it as well. But I think that's why Savio is adjusting so easily. It's because he's not really being asked to learn too much right away.
You said he was your player of the week, like for the whole league?
Yeah, for the whole Prem, I thought he was, in terms of like what I saw him do, I thought he was my player of the week.
I had a certain guy who's not a fan of Wolverhampton.
I was assuming you were gonna say that.
Had to.
So you might as well jump into it. Chelsea 6-2.
So we started talking about that game. We were on live from like halftime until the end of the game, right?
We watched the whole game together. Okay,
yeah. So we were talking about it at halftime. It sounded like last year. It's the same thing. Or it was like, oh, we scored a goal right away. Set piece. All right, great. Jackson agenda up. Like, easy. Back post header. No one near him. Cool. And then they had an offsides goal, and then they finally got their goal, and it was very deserved. Cunha hit another one off the bar that Colwell blocked. I thought he had a very good game. And then out of nothing, Robert Sanchez, who I've been very critical of, great ball just over the top, and Jackson just gets to that. Palmer lofts it in. I was like, oh, we have that guy. Forgot about him because he didn't really do too much up until that point. I think we were talking about that too. And then all of a sudden he just pulls that out. Great. And then they score off a set piece. That was a really bad set piece to give away. Madueke just right towards the end of half. And then they equalize. And to me, it felt like a Poch game. Whereas like these players should be outplaying the other team, and they're just not. Like it's all over the place. Caicedo looked drunk. Like he was just giving the ball away in areas that like, it's not like he's getting pressed. He has time. He's just giving the ball away. It was really frustrating to watch. And I think we had like one tackle I saw between Enzo and Caicedo in the first half. They were just walking through the middle of the field. So obviously they're going to get chances from that. And I don't know what he told them at halftime, but I mean, that was unbelievable for me. Like just the intensity, like Enzo, who you guys have been critical of, he had a huge second half. He stepped up. He has the armband. Like we said, that can be something for a young player. It can be a platform. It's more responsibility. And Enzo absolutely showed up in that second half. I mean, he won the ball for Madueke's hat trick, really high up the pitch. I just thought that was a huge second half. I mean, a hat trick. I knew like something would go down after that story, but like a hat trick is insane. We were talking about the best 11. We didn't bring him up. His name did not come up, right? So like that kind of goes more towards the whole Chelsea conversation where it's like, oh, like that kid from Brazil that's coming next year too. Like there's just so many guys like that have talent. Neto comes on, assists João Felix. Like there are so many good players, and this manager is consistently saying they can play multiple positions. It gives us so many different ways we can play because he wants this one style of play. We can see it every game that we're watching. Like this is not a Poch team. Like, he is erasing all of that. But he can mix it up in different ways. However, because there's just so many flexible players. Like even like a Renato Vega, for example, can play left center back. He can tuck into midfield and invert. Like these guys, and we got him for 12 million. So like there's just so many players like that, and we just need to put it together. Kind of rambling a bit, so Dylan, I'm gonna pass it to you. So we can get this a little back on structure. But what were your general thoughts? Because like again, unreal. Can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a tale of two halves. I thought the first half I thought Wolves was the better team. I mean, even from the first goal onwards, Wolves was the better team, and then I think it kind of just keeps going to the points that we've talked about with Chelsea of that the talent kind of just rises above, right? Like how can Wolves compete when the next three subs that they make off the bench are Neto, Felix, and then yeah, like what do we?
Yeah, Poch would have brought like Cassadai on last year. Yeah, he would have brought on Badiashile and Cassadai up 3-2. Like that's the difference for me. Like I know we're talking about seeing signs of winning and like mentality, and like you need to implement a guy. And Maresca's even said it, like the difference between us and like City and Arsenal. Pep's been there 9 years, 8 years. Arteta's been there a long time. They can build something, but I think obviously it's been a very short time, and we're just desperate at this point. But I'm seeing so much more from him in just this period than what we've seen out of everyone else in the Clear Lake era, if you want to say. He's ruthless. He's identified every single player that was not good enough and has told them to get out of his first team. And even a player like Mudryk, who I, again, really like, and I think he's very talented, it comes to a point where there's a player in there. We want to nurture you, but we have Pedro Neto that can play out there. We have João Felix and Nkunku, who kind of can play on the left wing, but they can occupy that space. They can start there. At what point can we start nurturing and like, we're taking that next step now? You got to come with. So I think we have Conference League for that. I think we have the Cup tournaments for that. But, you know, I just think there's so much talent in this team, like you said. And I mean, Madueke and Palmer, for example, Madueke was not a finished product when we signed him at all. He looked very raw, on and off from the performances, but you could tell he had an ego to him. Like, you know, fighting over penalties was a big one last year. But there was an ego for him, and now you're seeing it. Oh, he's played with Palmer for a year now, together on the team, and they've played like U21s together, but they've had a whole year of playing with each other. They know how to play with each other. They know there was like a back heel Palmer had to Madueke into space, but they just understand each other's games a lot more. And I think with players that talented, getting better and with each other, I think it's a matter of time. Obviously, it's only one game, but it's still going to be a rocky season. I think there's going to be ups and downs still. I don't want to get too over the top with it, but I've seen enough where it's like, this is the guy. Like, this is the one we should give time. I don't think Pochettino proved that for numerous reasons, but if anyone wants to kind of piggyback off that sentiment.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to pose something to Mila because he's been a little quiet here, but so
I didn't watch the game,
which is fine. This is more of just an overall Chelsea point, because I think as someone who's at the top looking down at the rest of the league and seeing consistent performances every week, one thing that came to my mind when I was watching the first half, and I'm just going to draw on that because that was like the negative portion of the game for Chelsea,
for sure,
was one, defensively not as sound as I would have liked to have seen them
for sure
in a game like this. And this is also back-to-back games giving up 2 goals, and it could have been more. Right? Like, realistically, in the Premier League, can you compete? And I know that they have all the talent in the world, but can you compete knowing that each game you're going to be giving up 2 or more goals a game? And is there a tactical switch that he can make, or is it more of like they just need to play together and eventually it'll work?
I think it's the thing I've been talking about every episode about Chelsea, is that they are too young and they have no experience and no leadership. You look at all the best defenses in the league and they all have leaders in the back, like every single one of them. And at Chelsea, there's just a bunch of children running around. And that's the big difference. They can understand the tactics all they want, but if they're not in it and they need someone to fucking rattle them, shake them, get them going, like there's no one like that. There's no Diaz, there's no Van Dijk, there's no friggin' crazy person like Gabriel who's been around a bit to be like, okay, this is how we need to get going. I think that's the big issue when it comes to Chelsea. You can have all the talent you want, but at the end of the day, when the talent's not working and you need someone to shake them up and get them going, you don't have that person. And I don't think Maresca can be the only person to do that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, those defensive holes, I mean, we saw it last year too. We were awful. And I think for me, most of that, obviously the back 4 is responsible, right? They're the ones conceding. I think a big part of it is the transitions from having the ball to losing the ball. I mean, like Gusto's never inverted in his life. Mind you, I think he has the ability to do that. He's clearly never done it. You can see just when they're getting back, like he's still tucking in a bit. And then I think for the first goal, Cunha's by himself because Gusto's still almost tucked in thinking he's in the midfield. Cunha, no one's near him. Gusto had all the time in the world to get back. I think there's a learning curve to this. Why I kind of said it's going to be rocky. I know we beat Servette in the Conference League before that game. That was a shaky game. I didn't leave that game going, sweet, we won. Like, there was nothing from that game that was that positive for me. So, yeah, I think it just comes down to that. And again, like I said, we were giving the ball away just very, like, lackadaisically. Like, there was no press, there's no pressure, and they're just giving the ball away. They're not taking care of it. And then the second half that changed, and I think that had a lot to do with it. Not as much just fully on the back 4. I think the midfield had a lot to do with that. I think missing Lavia, I know we've only seen him start 1 Premier League game for us now, but I mean, we were completely missing that ball winning. Me and Dylan were talking about it. With Enzo and Caicedo there, Caicedo is very aggressive. He will lunge in, and I think in the first half he did the splits like 3 or 4 times, and he just got right past him. And when Enzo's your last line of defense, that's not really going to work. But with Lavia there, he's going to be able to allow Caicedo to get stuck in and really go in for those challenges instead of really second-guessing where he should be. So I think it comes down more to the midfield. I do agree with your sentiment, though. Like, there does need to be a leadership. Like, Thiago Silva, unbelievable. Like, he was 39 years old, and he's still one of the best defenders in the league.
Well, that's what he offers,
right.
Even when he loses pace and all that. He's so smart.
It was invaluable.
Keep the game in check. Yeah.
It was invaluable, I think, for all our young center backs, just to even play with him, share the locker room with him for a little bit. Huge. But they miss that. They don't miss the player to the fullest extent because, again, slow. He's about to be 40. Still a great player.
The leadership.
Still a great player, but they miss that, like you said. But I think it's a little bit also on the midfield, and that's part of that conversation.
But to the point of the transitional errors, that can come down to someone being in the back saying, all right, where the fuck are you going? Like, get back to where you need to be, and let's keep our shape.
No, for sure.
So I see both sides of it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, I just think the grand scope thing is not all on the back four. We do need, I think the midfield and the transitions is a huge part of it. But yeah, Dylan, I mean, I thought João Felix, no 007 for us. Pedro Neto.
He's already played for you guys, so he couldn't get
no. I was seeing things. I saw it. But
I don't know what side of Twitter you're on, but a player that's already played for your club and scored a goal can't go 007. That's just a stupid take from that ding dong who posted it.
Neto's safe.
Neto is safe. That is fair.
I think Colwell, I guess kind of going off that a little bit, I think he's one of the guys that you would like to step up, right? He's homegrown. We've heard a lot about him. I thought he had a great performance. Again, the defense was shaky for me, the marking on a set piece. I think Fofana's still getting back to sharpness, but I'm liking what I'm seeing in terms of, okay, physically he looks good. His ball carrying, he carried the ball forward a few times, won fouls, love that. But just his awareness and marking, I think he's still a step off. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think Colwell was massive, though. We very easily could have been down in the first half on that Cunha shot, gets in the way and stops it, and he's screaming at everybody. That's what he needs to be doing, right? That's what good defenders do, holding people accountable and also having that accountability yourself. So I think that's the guy, I guess, if we're looking for someone in the back four, or I'm sorry, the center backs, I think it's a big year for him to really take that jump as a leader. But yeah, so I think we good, cover everything.
I just want to put one more thing out there, and I think it kind of still meshes with the sentiment that we've said across like our Chelsea 11 and what's the biggest question mark. It still comes down to Enzo for me in the midfield. I know he had a good game and he had a good second half, but that's the volatility of it.
In the system.
It's just, it seems still clunky, and maybe this is the type of game where he really strives next to Caicedo, right? Like in a game against Wolves, but in a different game, and maybe that's the flexibility of having a 42-man squad, right? Is that in a game against Wolves, we're playing Enzo in the midfield next to Caicedo. And in a game against City, we can play Alavia next to Caicedo and just win the ball back and get it to our forwards. Because if Enzo played if this game was against Arsenal, it might have not worked, if that makes sense. Like, I think the first half translates.
Yeah, sure. I just think, I guess, out of those three, I don't think they can all play together on the best team. How about that?
I don't think so either.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't even think that's a crazy problem. And I think there's so many games. I mean, I know we have that crazy Club World Cup too. See you there, Mila. Yeah, we're somehow in that. But including that, regardless of how awful we've been, we go far in the cups. We've still gone far in cup competitions. Potter and Lampard took us to the quarterfinal. We lose finals still at Wembley. Like, we're probably going to play, like, I think like 70 games, bro. Like, it's very possible. So I think there's games for everybody. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't disagree. All right. Let's segue away from logic and actual sports talk. Let's get into our mystery / blind 11. So the premise of this, and I'll say this so that people understand a little bit better, is I kind of took this from a basketball segment where people were blind raking a list of 10 guys, right? So instead of giving me a list of 10 guys, what I want to do is I'm going to give you guys a team name, right? So we'll go with, like, let's say Brentford. You both have to pick a player from that team. It can't be the same player, and they fit into your starting 11. The key to this is it's a 4-3-3, and obviously we're not mixing up spots. So the player, once you put a player in, they're stuck in that position. So if you use your striker on Tony, he's stuck there. And if I give you a Man City later in, you can't put Holland. Cool. We'll start. Mila, you're going to be the first, and then we'll snake it. So you get first pick at the first squad. With that being said, because it's both of your guys' favorite teams and mine, let's start with Arsenal.
Spine of the team, Mila. What are we doing? Marina?
Saliba.
Locking in the number one pick, Saliba. If I butcher somebody's name, just
either center back is fine.
Yeah, cool. Alrighty. Garnt.
We are going to go Odegaard, right center mid.
Whoa. I don't know how to spell that guy's dude. I got enough letters in there correct for it to work.
That works.
Alrighty. Grant, we're going back to you. Let's go with... Let's keep it in London. Let's go Fulham.
Let me have a think. Hello.
I know for a fact I know who Mila's going with if you don't say his name.
Are you talking about Iwobi?
I'm not saying because I don't want to give it away.
I don't know. I don't want to skip over anybody. Let me take a look at their team real quick. Because I know I'm just going to say that just to spite Mila, and I will end up with the worst team. So let's not do that. Okay. I really don't have much of a choice, do I? Jeez. Oh, man. Anthony Robinson at left back. Yeah.
That unfortunately is definitely who Mila was going for.
Yeah.
Time to go bring up the squad.
See, I was just blanking on it. I blanked. I completely blanked on it.
It's fair. This is the fun exercises. I get to pick 20 out of the 20 teams, so nice. Only 11 of it. All right, back to Mila.
Your squad.
Oh, I think I know who he's gonna go with.
Okay, I can see this.
I can't believe I blanked on Anthony. It's crazy.
I'll go. I'll go Castagne at right back.
No Smith Rowe shout.
No Smith Rowe.
Yeah, I couldn't have two Arsenal players, bro. I definitely thought about it, but we're not starting.
Is it C.A.S.
C.A.S.T.A.G.N.E.
A good shout, though. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Mila. Going to you. Let's go with Newcastle. No Best Buy.
We'll go Bruno G.
At our right center mid?
Sure.
Okay. So he's not your 6.
You put Odegaard on the left for me.
Oh.
Did I? Sorry. Whatever.
Now we're
I'll switch it up.
Yeah, who cares?
I didn't know we would. Okay.
I just meant you have a 6 in your squad.
Yeah, there will be a 6.
Yeah. Bruno.
All right, Grant. Newcastle.
Yeah, it's just gonna have to be Isak, isn't it? Yeah.
Take your striker early.
Yeah. It's just like the ceiling
of Gordon
of
for you.
No, I mean I like Gordon. I actually think he's really good, but Isak's like max potential Jackson in terms of their game. In terms of their game.
Banking on a winging? Are you banking on getting a winger here? Is that what we're doing?
I just think Isak is. I think that works, bro. Like what? Who else would you rather have up top other than Holland? I mean, I know Holland's Holland, but I really like Isak, bro. I think he's really good.
Yeah, he is really good. Alrighty. Let's go back to London. We'll go to Spurs.
Dude.
I'm just making a Grant hates this team 11.
Yeah, dude. Dude, don't make me put Timo at left wing.
You gonna put your 7th ranked center back?
Or my 3rd ranked center back.
Ooh.
Oh, dude.
Spicy.
That's a great idea. That's a really good idea. You put Van de Ven next to Anthony. Yeah. Wonderful.
Is it duh or D? It is D.
E.
Whatever.
E. Yeah, there he is.
All
right. What's up, buddy? Yeah, dude, everyone's left-footed. Sick.
Give me Solanke.
Whoa, both strikers off.
Yeah, we're not boring. No one's putting Hallars in their lineup. Come on.
I mean, I would, but
I was totally gonna put City at the very end. Now I can totally put him wherever I want. Thanks, guys. Let's get more of a crap club in there to really make you guys think. Crystal Palace.
Oh, whoa, crap!
2 losses. They're on the bottom of the table.
Yeah, guess who they play?
Just give me Eze. And Grant can work with the scraps.
The scraps, you say?
Actually,
can I? Oh,
Do you want Eze? We locking him in?
Yeah, take Eze.
All right, Grant.
It's gonna have. I mean, he hasn't gone to Newcastle yet, so Gahey. Yeah.
Fucking fair
I
enough.
kind of have to. Is that boring though? Are we allowing that?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
It's boring.
Because you may have taken him if at Newcastle, right?
No, I would have totally done Isak.
Well, okay. Never mind. You want Chris Richards instead? You can have 2 Americans.
No, I can't do that, can I?
I mean, you totally can.
I could.
USA.
Hey, your favorite manager is going to manage them.
Yeah, that's his level, isn't it? CONCACAF against Mexico, the big that's seriously his level. No, that's serious. Like it's going to be good. It's going to be good for us.
What do you mean his level? You mean elite American pride? Don't disrespect our country, man.
Him being paid by our country is an inherent disrespect. But we're
Greg
still paying him too.
Got paid. So
yeah, fair enough.
Seen worse. Trust.
No, it's a good point. It is a good point. It's just so hard for me. Pause, because like he was just awful for us, man. Awful manager. Yeah, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. But again, I think for what he adds as a manager and the qualities he has for a team,
Way more fresh at your club than there is at the U.S. national team. His job at the U.S. national team is to make us not be shit.
Yeah, I just can't get past it. He was so bad, man.
And I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be great, honestly.
I hope so, because I don't like hating people.
I think he's a good fit. He might have a redemption arc in your life.
Yeah, he has to coach a couple games a season.
Yeah, allow it. It'll be great. Yeah,
it'll be fun.
All right. Grant, let's go with West Ham.
I'll remember this. This is absurd.
What, did you want me to pick Brentford? Would that be more exciting for you? Screw it. Brentford.
Sick, yeah, dude. And Mbeumo right wing. Awesome. Dude, these counterattacks.
We're definitely going back to what? Oh.
Dude, these counterattacks with Mbeumo and Isak, movies will be made.
Pick one.
Wait,
what happened?
There he is at the bottom.
I thought we were doing
him.
Why were there 2?
We're not doing West Ham?
We're doing Brentford.
No, bro, I said right wing. Yeah. You put him on the wrong side. Yeah, dude.
We changed it to Brentford?
Yeah. And then put Odegaard on the other side, too.
I can't yet.
Ah, damn it.
I will eventually.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
I'll take Pinnock.
Nice. I like
this
that.
This is number 10 on Mila's list.
I like that list. I like that.
Number 2 and number 10 make for a great pairing.
Oh, mate. Pinnock, sick.
All right. United. This is great because I just get to put you guys in my world.
Thinking about Brentford?
Yeah, it's everything.
Mbeumo.
I wake up and I think about Brentford.
You don't know.
All I do is think about
with Mainu
as your 6.
Move Bruno.
Yes, you can move Bruno.
But other than that, I kind of like that midfield.
No, it's smooth little midfield.
Yeah, that's pretty hot. All right, Grant.
Onana. Love Onana.
I forgot about a goalie.
I've been waiting for Dylan to say United so I can pick Onana. I love Onana. I love his game. Oh, man. I'm a huge fan.
All right. Gosh. I can really screw Mila by just waiting. Giving him a bunch of teams with crap goalies.
Yeah, with the defense,
no, eventually you'll get one. Because they're playing each other this weekend, let's go Liverpool.
I got Pool.
First pick at Pool.
Well, I had.
And Mbeumo is your.
Well, Mbeumo, you have him on the wrong side. It's confusing.
Your right I'm just telling you, he's your right winger.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm having a hard time.
There.
because I just see his face. Oh, sick. That works. Yeah, so do I want to... Luis Diaz?
You want Darwin, don't you?
And I'll put Gakpo.
Gakpo.
I like Gakpo. I like Gakpo off the left. He never plays off the left for Liverpool, but I think he'd actually be, if he played in his actual position.
That pick alone immediately puts Mila's team ahead of yours. All right, Mila.
Let me see my team real quick.
I couldn't put Trent.
Because I honestly...
Oh, no Trent?
That just takes a lot.
Wow. You had a chance to get your goalie there, too.
I know, but why would I pass up on Salah?
Because you can get the best goalie in the Prem.
And because you get Gakpo.
Where? They just replaced him with a guy with a really long name.
It's because he's not going to stay there because he doesn't like that bald twat they have as a manager.
Hey, for the record, I had a right winger. I'm not putting Salah at left wing. Be disrespectful. So we put Hakpo.
Yes. Correct. This is how Grant's team actually looks. Cool. Oh yeah. Once Odegaard gets moved,
Who cares? Who cares? It's just midfield, whatever.
All right, Mila.
What are we doing?
All right, I gotta do it at some point. Chelsea.
Take. Ooh, to take. I have the left back option is not happening. It's not happening.
Vega. Put Vega left back.
I'll take Neto.
You could have had Mudryk. Steak.
I didn't want Mudryk.
You could have had Palmer.
No.
He did it against us.
Not at the left.
No, he did.
I don't want him at the left wing.
So, like, yeah, put the skipper at right back. You knew that was coming. Come on. Yeah. 2 midfielders left. Lovely.
Can't wait for your team.
Dude, this team's class.
It depends what Dylan gives us.
Yeah, Dylan, bro.
Your midfield can be stinky.
No,
Oh, you're up, Grant.
Leslie Ogachukwu. Come on, put him at the 6. Yeah, come on. He's good.
Did he play this week?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
how do I spell
Carabao Cup.
I put him with the 6.
Yeah, please do.
How do you spell that name?
What?
How do you spell that?
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out if he played today first.
Chugu. They play tomorrow.
Oh, they play tomorrow. Okay. I think he's there. I know he's on the team.
Did he transfer this?
No, yeah, we just loaned him. Bro, how do I not?
Oh, is he not? Did that not technically go through yet?
Can you put Leslie?
Yeah.
Lesley?
S.
No, it's Lesley.
That's what I just said.
Ley.
Nice.
Okay. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, we just loaned him. Nice.
I'm taking Gavin Bazunu.
Oh, is he still there? He is still here.
Yeah, he's hurt right now, so he's not playing. But he's
great pick, Mila. Well done.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
That is.
He thought he had me.
We got us sneaking in academy product.
Twin Beavers.
No, I honestly thought I had Grant.
Wait, where does this?
You thought you had me?
I thought I had you, but then I forgot.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah, he's nice.
There he is. Boom.
Boom.
All right. Who do I want to give you guys as ultimately your left back
and center mid
and your center mid?
Oh man.
Ooh, I have so many good options here because I could give you guys Brighton, City, West Ham, Villa, Bournemouth, Leicester, and Ipswich, and Everton. Everton?
Give us Ipswich.
I'll give you guys City. I'll be nice.
No.
It's all of your guys' teams.
That's true. Yeah.
I had to get all of our
Well, I
teams in
think
there. It
I'm
wouldn't
just
be a
gonna
very
take
good account.
Guardiola.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
dude.
in, May.
Just put Ugochukwu at the 6. Nice.
Fuck.
What are
You
you
have
gonna do?
Gundo.
Well, it
How
looks
do you
like
spell his name?
GV.
Hey. Hey.
No,
GVA.
Oh, okay. E. Is it an I instead of me?
No, GVA.
GPA. Oh.
Yes.
Bro, I thought you were kidding. Oh my god.
No, I don't know how to spell. It's not my strong suit.
What is?
Good point.
Fair enough. Okay. What do we want to do here? Like,
Gundo.
do we really want to have fun, or do we play it smart? No, I got Gakpo. It's not a fun team. Yeah, I put Gundo. It's a good point. I wanted to put De Bruyne there, but it's a little too crazy.
He's German, and you needed an E.
I know. I just really wanted to put De Bruyne. Nice. Yeah, dude. This team is insane. We should play against each other on FIFA with these teams.
That would be really cool.
Well, yeah, I'd probably lose, but
I will let you guys now pick your managers with the teams that are remaining. So you've got Everton, Ipswich, Wolves, Villa, West Ham. Did we do Forest?
We're not picking Nuno.
And Brighton.
We're not picking Nuno.
You pick first.
I pick first?
Yeah.
Putting the pressure on me. You think it's a little reverse psychology?
Try to match your coach with the team that you have.
I know.
Because I know you want to pick Dyche.
That is the first thing that came to my mind. When you said Everton first, I was like, okay. I mean, realistically, like, McKenna's obviously there. The Brighton manager, he looks really sharp. Emery. We'll go Emery. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, just Emery's there.
Everton, West Ham, Bournemouth.
Got on my team also.
Leicester.
Yeah, we're not getting Steve Cooper.
Wolves, Ipswich.
Take Kieran McKenna. Settle.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, because we're at an hour and 7 minutes, I don't think we need to do any more. Do you guys want to do any more?
I mean, we'll probably have Osimhen by the next time we record or something stupid. So
we'll do a quickie video if they're
yeah. Sure. All right. Well, that sounds good to me. I'm good to wrap it up there if you guys are good to wrap it up there.
Whose team wins? That's all we need to know. Actually, Dylan. Yeah, Dylan. Just you. First thoughts.
That's tough, man.
What a team.
Mila's forward line's better.
Oh, I do it, yeah.
His midfield is better. What? But your defense is better.
His midfield is not better. His midfield is not better.
You have an unproven 6.
Dude, it's Gundogan and Odegaard, bro. Do you fine? He's nice.
I don't want to take 400-year-old Gundogan and Odegaard. I don't trust Odegaard.
Gundo is Barca's best player.
I know. I'm just you want me to sit here and pick City midfielder? Screw you, man. Mila's at least a respectable human. He put his player at left back.
Look at his keeper.
I didn't have a choice.
He's never played in the Prem. I know he has. They got relegated. I'm sorry.
He has aura, though.
So what does my keeper have, Dylan?
Voodoo and aura.
He has the armband on my team. That team's winning.
Gavin Mizuno fits the style of my team.
How about we let the people in the comments decide?
Yeah, that's true. My left.
Look at the attacking build up on my team.
Hackpo is destroying that left-hand side or right.
To be fair, he also has Emery as his manager, so that might be.
So he's not going to play the way that they need to play.
I just don't. This is my biggest issue.
And both of his
respect in Waymo, bro. I'm not.
These are my biggest issues. You have a backup and a guy that wouldn't play on any.
That's Euros Gakpo. That's Euros Gakpo. He's at the left.
Okay, sorry. I forgot we weren't picking Liverpool Gakpo. The guy I said in the whole point of the video was mystery teams.
But he's on the left wing. Bro, they just play Diaz there every week. He plays up top and he does nothing. They take him off.
Who's actually playing defense on your team?
Mark Gahey and Van de Ven.
At least
we're
Reece
just pinching
James
you
will
up
be
the
healthy.
field, mate. We're just pinching it. The team's nasty.
We'll let the people decide. I actually have zero idea who would win that game. So.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the input.
That was the thanks for asking after asking. I respect that. Thank you guys again for watching Clash of Clubs episode 3. Thank you again to Heelbite316 for making an appearance and being Man United's biggest supporter and Erik Ten Hag's biggest supporter. We both do love that bald bastard. But thanks for listening.
Words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal! Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent! Potentially life-changing! That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.